Join us this week for an episode of Tropical Adventure. We visit one of Vanuatu's premier resorts, Iririki, for some 5-star luxury. We then travel south to Australia's east coast and experience a close encounter of the dolphin kind. Again, we travel further south to another Australian east coast destination, Merimbula. We join a well-known Australian fisherman on a fishing excursion. Lastly, we visit heaven and hell in the Cayman Islands. Vanuatu is truly a land of contrasts. From some of the most diverse cultures in the world to beautiful beaches, lava-spitting volcanoes, and a variety of different cuisines. Vanuatu has something for everyone. Air Vanuatu offers several 737 services a week from Sydney, Brisbane, Melbourne and Auckland. Their superb in-flight service is renowned throughout the Pacific. A light easterly breeze. Our approach will be taking us up the middle of Nelly Bay, over Hideaway Island and landing towards the east. When arriving in Vanuatu, please remember the importance of quarantine regulations. Vanuatu is proud of its clean, green, pristine land, and the people rely on it to produce locally grown fruits and vegetables, which are a staple part of their diet. The protection of these gardens and of the cattle industry is vital.
Hello, welcome to Vanuatu.
When you come out of customs, proceed straight outside the terminal to where the Adventures in Paradise staff will greet you. Transfers are by air-conditioned bus or stretch limousine. Adventures in Paradise offer a full range of tours. Their office is in the centre of town. Avis Rentals has an office at the airport. If you want your own transport, Avis has a range of vehicles to suit, with offices at the Meridian and Le Lagon hotels. If you choose to stay at Le Lagon Park Royal, a Melanesian experience awaits you. The Chiefs will welcome you to their home, which is set in 75 acres of exotic tropical gardens by the crystal waters of Ericor Lagoon. The resort provides a wide range of activities for you to enjoy. A pool and pool bar, tennis courts, golf course, sailing a catamaran, windsurfing and snorkeling. The kids will have the time of their lives in the Kids Only Club. They can even learn to ride. You can view local handcrafts and find a gift or two to take home, and then listen as the chief tells you of his ways.
As you can see, I'm holding here, and it tastes beautiful.
After dinner, enjoy a local drama group perform their history. Families and all couples are welcomed at this friendly resort. Iririki Island Resort is just 3 minutes from Port Vila by a free 24-hour ferry that will whisk you across Port Vila Harbour. Iririki is your own private South Pacific island and caters specifically for honeymooners and couples who want to get away from it all. The Fares are romantic and the restaurant superb. Set beside the pool, the brand new Frangipani Spa offers that extra pampering. It's the only spa of its kind in Vanuatu. The Bali High Cafe and Bar is a great place to sit and relax as you enjoy the variety of evening entertainment. Experience the magic of the Pacific on Iririki Island. This is the place memories are made of. Moreton Island lays 35 miles from Brisbane, Queensland's capital city. The climate is subtropical, and 97% of the island's 19,000 hectares is national park. The 126 species of bird life that reside on the island represents its healthy natural environment. The resort Tangalooma is located on the west and leeward side. It's like other holiday resorts that are found on the many islands along Australia's northeastern coast. However, it's Tangalooma's nightlife that sets it apart from any other island in the world. Come dusk, up to 100 or more guests can be seen bandying about the pier, waiting to view the arrival of the important visitors. A pod of 8 bottlenose dolphins who appear nightly to be fed by the resort's patrons. It's thought that Australia has the only 2 locations where this phenomena takes place. Monkey Mia on the west coast also plays host to a pod of feeding dolphins. However, it's Tangalooma that reflects so graphically the public's change of attitude to both conservation of our marine mammals and the environment in general. Whaling commenced at Tangalooma during 1952. However, whaling began throughout Australia as early as 1800. And was at one stage Australia's prime export industry, before the more lucrative goldfields supplied better opportunities. During the season of 1955, the year's quota of 600 whales were captured within the season's first 2 months. The station throughout its lucrative 9-year history had no trouble reaching its quota, until the death bell tolled during 1962, when only 68 whales were caught. It was obvious that humpback whales were rapidly becoming extinct. The station ceased operations on the 5th of August that year. The slipway has succumbed to the growth of natural vegetation, and at a glance, the pier's true identity is not readily visible. The whale chasers Cos 1 and 2 lie in the island's tranquil waters off nearby Coen. After long careers of taking life, their rusting and rotting bodies supply the holes and crevices required for a successful artificial reef. When diving Cos 1 and 2, without prior knowledge of their past, they seem as innocent as the old Melbourne tram, dredgers, and the variety of other vessels sharing their fate. When viewed with hindsight, the reef represents both our past and present attitudes. The main pier is the gateway for incoming and outgoing tourists via a ferry. Fishermen also utilise the pier to gather some very nice catches, indicating again the healthy and natural environment of the island. A sign at the foot of the pier greets the arriving guests, informing them the section of beach stretching approximately 20 metres from the pier is reserved at all times for the nightly visitors. It's here that the story began. The dolphins found an abundance of bait fish attracted by the pier's lights were easy hunting and naturally exploited the situation. Over time, they became accustomed to the noise and activity of the human audience, and soon after, they even began taking fish from the fishermen. The dolphins arrive at the pier between 5 and 6:30 p.m, often from separate directions, and it's not clear yet if the 8 dolphins that visit are a complete pod or part of a larger group. During our visit, a 9th dolphin appeared, although it didn't feed. Ross Deacon, manager of the Dolphin Care and Research Program, prepares the beach area for the feed, while Mark readies his video camera and hydrophone, which record the night's activities. Feeding the dolphins is done by wading into the water and offering a fish. The dolphins are gentle, and there has never been an incident. Tangalooma offers people a very rare opportunity to interact with the most wonderful species of wild animal. To be truly revived, a holiday should be as close to heaven as possible. Some people's idea of heaven is to shop till they drop, and the Cayman Islands will delight the shopaholic with huge ranges of stores and items. The Cayman Islands are a duty-free destination, which means many exciting opportunities for you to save on such things as watches, china and crystal, perfumes and fine jewellery. All the big names in fashion and accessories can be found in the Caymans. In addition to traditional duty-free selections, varied and interesting shopping from chic European fashions to outstanding local art can be found in specialty stores, hotel boutiques and shopping plazas. A wide variety of Caribbean specialty foods, coffees, spices and sauces can also be purchased from friendly local store owners. Other travellers may be in heaven playing golf, and Grand Cayman has 2 world-class golf courses. The Links at Safe Haven is an 18-hole championship golf course and offers 6,605 yards with a par 71 course. Close to 7 Mile Beach and only 5 miles from Georgetown, the Britannia Golf Course at the Hyatt is actually 2 courses in one, a par 58 course and a par 70 championship course. You can enjoy views of the Caribbean Sea while the refreshing trade winds keep you comfortable. Many people are in heaven when they are close to nature. The island of Cayman Brac has wonderful walking tracks that takes in Brac Bluff, which is a large cliff face that offers the trekker fantastic ocean views. Yet the Caymans have everything, even hell. Hell is made up of spiky porous limestone and dolomite that has been eroded away and turned to black from the algae. Locals thought that the place resembled their idea of what hell would look like and named this place accordingly. Hell's intriguing weathered rock formation is over 1.5 million years old and resembles the charred remains of a fire. To further add to the novelty, a post office was opened in 1962 so tourists could send postcards from hell. If you're into Gothic, then from hell you may want to visit Bat Cave. This is home to the brown bat. These bats are found on Grand Cayman and nowhere else in the world. The bats are now protected, and scientists are working on ways to ensure this unique species survive and continue to delight tourists. If all these reasons are not enough to make you want to visit the Cayman Islands, then perhaps the majestic sunsets will. Many people have described them as the greatest in the world. This is sunrise at Merimbula, a small fishing and holiday town on Australia's east coast. This region of Australia is an angler's paradise and offers both great saltwater and freshwater fishing. Many freshwater anglers regard sunrises such as these and the region's scenic beauty as more rewarding than actually catching fish. We're travelling and fishing with Steve Cooper, who's one of Australia's highest profile fishing and travel writers.
Hey Micah, how are you?
How you doing there, Steve?
So what are we going to get into today?
Well, mate, we're looking for
Steve is about to try fly fishing within Merimbula's extensive lake system with Micah Adams, who is a local fishing guide. Once the boat has been launched, Steve and Micah discuss the weather and water conditions. The lake system opens directly to the Pacific Ocean, so tidal movements are also considered when planning the day and targeting a species. Micah grew up in the area and has fished the lakes as a child. He often studies maps to try to find the magic secret location that every fisherman dreams of, a place where the fish are plentiful and willing to take the bait. Today, Micah is taking Steve to a couple of his favourite locations. This day is perfect regarding weather conditions, so many locations are possible. The lakes are large and are subject to wind conditions. However, fishermen can always find a lee or sheltered patch to try their luck. The lakes act as a nursery and are home to many different species of fish. The underwater quietness is broken by the din of the outboard motor, and fish in the shallows scurry for cover. It's in the shallow waters that the best fishing is had, but being quiet is an important aspect of being successful.
This is a bow-mounted electric motor.
Professional guides such as Micah have all the right equipment to ensure the visiting fisherman gets his best chance at taking home dinner.
So I can creep up on fish and manoeuvre around snags, which is great to position yourself.
This is a small electric motor that allows Micah to creep around the shallows with as little disturbance as possible. It's simply swung into the water, and a foot pedal provides control of the tiny outboard motor.
Depressing my heel and my toe, I can just change the direction of the boat. And under my toe there is a large ball. And that...
The underwater terrain differs from lake to lake. The ones closer to the ocean have a higher salt content and less branches and snags. After a briefing, it's time to get some fishing in.
Nice deceiver pattern, see all the tinsel, the
The
reflection
lakes
in
can
the
be
water.
fished with a number of methods, but on this occasion, Steve decided on the fly fishing technique.
Flathead, they just love these deceivers when they're like that. They're just a beautiful fly. That reflection, that reflects fairly deep. I mean, that water's not all that clear today, is it, Micah?
No, we've had a fair bit of rain.
Guides such as Micah play an important part in the overseas visitor's success. They not only know of the best locations, they can also advise on the best baits or lures.
I swung back over to an 8-weight, but I got a high-density fast sink line, or sink tip line on it. So hopefully we can Just stay that little bit deeper.
Tailor
I've
are the
been working in
species
this
Steve
bay
is
here, so
targeting.
just stay that little bit
After
deeper
only a
and
few
maybe get
casts,
a fish.
Steve manages to catch a small example of the species.
Oh, we've got a little tailor on here. We're up at the top lake at Merimbula. Fishing hasn't been all that hot today, but there's a little tailor just come in here on the fly. Just jumped a little bit.
This is only a small example of a tailor, but Steve is sure to keep trying for the one that got away.
Oh, he'll be right. He'll live to go live another day.
Put him back, I think, right?
Yeah, just let him go.
Yeah, mate.
In further episodes, we'll revisit this area to explain how American writer and sports fisherman Zane Grey helped to make this area a world-renowned fishing holiday
It's
destination.
got a little bit of weight in there.
How big do you get these tailor up here?
Mate, these tailor in Merimbula Lake, they grow to 6 pounds. A typical fish. A little bit of difficulty here, mate. Just grab it on.
As well as being a world-class fishing destination, Merimbula is a family-orientated destination with safe beaches and plenty of sightseeing opportunities. Join us again when we next trek the globe and explore fabulous and exciting holiday destinations. For further information regarding any story on this episode, log on to www.pbtv.com.au. This program is proudly supported by PATA and Always Dive Australia.